Hi guys, this is just a quick follow-up vid to my latest vid on warm fuzzies for sable chicken. Uh, I want to respond to the probably one of the most cogent objections to one of my main points of the last video. This point was made by Casino McCool, Javier, M West 1234, and the great Phil Hellions, as Sable Chicken pronounces his name, Phil Hellions. Um, and basically, it was this, okay? Uh, my claim, and it is a very strong claim. My claim in the last video is that partisans in the theist versus atheist debates that are going on here are actually a lot closer together on the issue than what they think, and the only reason that they're spending so many mega hours making these videos and posting back and forth is that they do see some merit in the uh, other in their opponent's positions, basically, right? So yeah, this is a very strong. It's a very strong claim, and it probably deserves a little bit more hand waving here. And in point of fact, I mean, and I agree. It's maybe the weakest point that I made there. The very fact that I'm responding to this point also indicates that I see some validity in the objection as well, right? So with that recursive point in mind, let me proceed. Okay. Um, One of the main ways in which people attack this point of mine was to say that you know it's not just because I see some point in the other person's bogus opinion. Of course, I don't see any good points in their opinions. I just don't want there to be a theocracy in the United States, right? I'm attacking the belief in God because I don't want to see the United States or the world go down the path of mullahocracy and religious fundamentalism, right? Okay. Now, okay, to this I would reply as follows. Okay, and this point actually I got from Mike Sarno, right? Okay, if what you want is you don't want a theocracy in the United States, why argue against there being a God? I mean, that's probably not the best way to do it, right? It's much easier to persuade somebody that there shouldn't be a theocracy in the United States than it is to persuade somebody that there is no God, right? I mean, there's the vast majority of theists in the United States or anywhere else don't believe we should have a theocracy. The vast majority don't believe. I mean, it's perfectly compatible. A belief in God is perfectly compatible with a belief in a secular society, right? So if what you're trying to accomplish is, maintaining a secular society in the United States, then probably your best bet is not to go around arguing against the existence of God, right? And for pragmatic reasons as well as semantic reasons. I mean, in point of fact, the majority of people in the United States are theists, and if you're bashing the existence of God, especially if you're doing it in a highly offensive manner, you're turning off all the theists who would help you in this, right? There's vast, legions of theists who believe in a secular society. So, and you can work with them in order to achieve your political ends, right? So, there has to be, it can't just be that you want a secular society is the reason why you're arguing against this. There has to be more to it than that. Otherwise, you'd just be arguing for a secular society, right? So, I think any time that we feel really intense emotions towards something, we get really engaged, it gets our juices flowing, okay? I think this is a real sign that there's something deeper going on, that there's more to it than what really meets the eye. I think emotions are more than just internal weather, okay? Your emotions are how you engage with the world, it's how you interact with the world, and it's a method of, giving you some feedback here. And I do think that, I really do think that most of the people who are partisans in this really do see a lot bigger threat in the other person's position than what they might even be willing to admit to themselves, really. So, to make it a bit more plausible, okay, let me put the point this way, right? Okay, if you thought that your opponent's positions were self-refuting, if they were obviously false to any unbiased or halfway rational observer, right? You probably wouldn't spend that much time debating them. I mean, somebody comes on and talks about a wacky conspiracy theory or something like this. Usually the response is you just chuckle at them and go on to the next video, right? It's only the ones that you really think, hey, wait a minute, there may be something to this. Okay, this argument may have some traction. That you really sit and you think about different ways to disprove it or different points that you can bring to bear against it. So, yeah, I know it's a very strong claim, and it's probably an unsettling claim, and in the end, it's probably not completely true claim. But I do think it's food for thought. I mean, if you find yourself, watching somebody's video and you get a visceral response, you get really emotional about it, right? I do think that's a red flag should go up and say, well, what's really going on here? What's really my motivations here for responding? Okay, thanks a lot.